Hey y'all, happy Mindset Monday. How is everybody doing? Hey Deborah, hey, happy Monday. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you so very much for being here, and happy Barack Obama Day, y'all. And hey, Casey, I was like, hey girl, I'm live now. I was just texting with Casey, y'all. So yeah, I am always doing all the things at one time. That's just what I do. So I appreciate y'all so much for being here. Happy Mindset Monday. And I have to introduce myself for those of you who may not know me, because like I told y'all last week, I was told by my mentor, why are you always jumping on live and doing all the things and acting like everybody knows you? Introduce yourself to the people. And to be honest with y'all, the reason why I don't introduce myself is not at all because I just assume everybody knows me. I'm just not someone who automatically thinks about talking about me. So I just get on and talk about what I feel like I need to talk about that will help the people. And I'm like, they don't need to know anything about me. But yes, I am Stae Hall. I am a life coach, L.Y.F.E, love yourself first explicitly, because I truly believe that all success, all positive relationships, everything that we do would be that much better if we do the work and are able to love ourselves first explicitly. I am an author. I am a soft skills and emotional intelligence expert. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. And I'm Stae. And so thank you. And welcome to the podcast if this is your first time joining us. Y'all, before we get into the subject, it's not even venting because it is nothing negative at all, but your girl is wore out today. So I shared with y'all yesterday when I went live with Wallace, for those of you who were on, that I had a whirlwind of a weekend. And it did not stop today. So a lot of people were off today because it was, Barack Obama Day. Yes, I am definitely your big sister. Absolutely. But I was not off today. So I had two events today. I had the privilege of speaking to some of the counselors and some of the PE teachers at Fort Worth ISD about soft skills and emotional intelligence, and just helping them navigate that whole process with students, and, just some de-escalation, and just being able to talk to the students about conflict resolution and being proactive instead of reactive, because our counselors and our PE teachers, along with a lot of other faculty and staff, but those mainly, like, they see all the kids, you know what I mean? So a lot of teachers have their set group of kids that they see for whatever courses, but the counselors and the PE teachers, they see everyone. And so I had the privilege of being able to facilitate a workshop with them today at Dunbar High School. And we talked about the importance of emotional intelligence and soft skills, and how to be able to translate that message to our young people, and teaching them ways and giving them the school skills and tools that they need to be able to communicate with one another without things going crazy. Because in this day and age, we have a lot of violence in schools. We're having guns in schools. We're having fights in schools, a lot of verbal conflict. And so I was able to go today and talk to that group and help give them, just some support. Hey, Miss T with the T, thank you so much for being here, which reminds me to also say, for all of our content creators in the house, please feel free to drop your links so that the Lifer Tribe can go over to the good YouTube and subscribe to your channel. Hey, Amanda Boo, thank you for being here. And then I'm also dropping the link to the live. So just in case anyone wants to join me on the panel, you will know that you are welcome to do so. I know I talk a lot about all of the things, but this is an open forum for anybody to share, because by no means do I think that I know everything. I know a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff, but a lot is not everything. So I'm always willing and open and excited to hear from you. And let's see what Wallace Hall saying. Wallace ran out for a second. Hey, beautiful, I support you. Well, thank you so much, beautiful. I support you as well. Yeah, he just ran out for a second because he's been running with me all day. He has been my driver, taking me to and fro to everything that I had going on. And then he treated me to a wonderful dinner this evening before we came in to do this, because I still got more work to do when I log off of this, y'all. Y'all know it never stops. I don't care what nobody say. I am the hardest working woman in this house, right? I want to say in Dallas Fort Worth, but I don't want to offend nobody. So I'm just going to say I'm the hardest working woman in this house. But anyway, y'all, what I wanted to talk about today is something that is super important, that a lot of women of a certain age, especially of my generation, which I'm Gen X. And so from Gen X and anyone who came before us, I think that something that was lacking in our upbringing, which is no fault of anyone's, because we came from parents who had to like get it how you can. I mean, we were fresh out of the whole civil rights movement, just a lot of things that our generation or the generations before us went through that didn't necessarily give them the skills and tools that they needed to pour into us the way that we were able to pour into the next generation and the generation after that. We didn't get a lot of talk about self-love and, being able to believe in yourself. It was just kind of like, this is just what you need to do, get it while you can. And that was it. And so I think for many of us, our generation kind of was like, we wanted to do things different, but we didn't really know how. And so we got the courage and the boldness to step out there and do some things, but then we struggle with that self-doubt. And so that's what I just wanted to kind of talk about, because I've shared with y'all in the past, me writing the book, Running for Your Life, Love Yourself First Explicitly, was definitely something based off of my journey. And I wanted to share with people so that I could maybe help someone not deal with the self-doubt for as long as I did. But what I realized when I was thinking about this, hey, Geeky Girls Journal, thank you so much for being here. But what I realized as I was going through that journey of self-discovery and writing that book, it wasn't necessarily self-doubt that I was dealing with, right? Because I was pretty confident in me and what I knew and what I wanted to do. It was more other people's doubt that then turned into self-doubt. Does that make sense? Because I had an idea, I had a vision, but sometimes when you have an idea and a vision and you don't get a lot of buy-in, then you start to doubt yourself. And I think that's what happened to me. And I think that's what happened to a lot of people of my generation and before, because there were certain standards that were set where only certain people were able to have these accomplishments, and only people who come from this background can do this. Hey, Tampa's Creek Homestead. And so it was like, you just felt like, well, my name's not being called, my number's not being called. They're not talking about my family dynamic. They're not talking about where I come from. So even though I have all of these ideas and aspirations, am I going to get the support I need? Am I going to get the buy-in that I need? And so it wasn't necessarily that it was self-doubt. I think that we were just afraid to go against the grain and to be different. And so many of us just let our hopes and dreams and aspirations fall by the wayside. And we just went on that structured path that what you're supposed to do is go to school, graduate. A lot of us, it wasn't even about college. It was get married, right? Have your kids, get your home, have a husband who works at some corporation with benefits and where he's able to retire in 20 years or whatever and support your family. Like anything else that you were looking at, nobody really understood that. Like myself growing up, I did not know one entrepreneur. Now looking back at it, I can say like the candy lady, she was an entrepreneur, but we didn't look at it that way and we didn't go to the candy lady for advice. But everybody in my family had a job, and that's what they did. They had a job. The women a lot of times stayed home and took care of the children, and the men had a job in corporate America, whether they were working in a factory, whether they were a teacher, whatever it was. And that's what it was supposed to be. And as a woman and a Black woman, that was all that was expected of me. So when I started talking about other things that I wanted to do and having ideas about other things, I had no support, and no one really knew how to support me because, girl, what are you talking about? So I've shared with y'all recently, and anyone who's seen my vlogs, you know, the cat's out of the bag, y'all. I sing, and I sing very well. And I sang in the church. I was appreciated as a singer in the church. But when we looked past anything other than the church, it was just like, no, like that's not even something that you can do. Like nobody knows you. How are you going to get a record deal? We don't have the money to be putting into all that. That's a pipe dream. It's just a hobby. And so after a while, it's just like, okay, well, I guess I can't be a professional singer. Like that doesn't make sense. And I'm sure there's others of you who had things that you did where just no one understood. I tell y'all all the time, hey, Lacey J, what's up, boo? And so I tell y'all all the time, I invented podcasts. I don't care what nobody says. I've been doing a podcast out of my bedroom window since I was about 8 years old because I always had the desire in me to do that, to reach people, to impact people, to communicate with people. However, because no one else in my family, no one else in my surroundings knew anything about that, that was just like, that's just Stae. That girl just always running her mouth. But nobody looked at that as, that's a gift. That's a talent. Like this girl may be able to do something. It was just like, okay, when you get done talking out your window, we need to figure out what job you gonna get. You know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't necessarily self-doubt. Well, thank you so much, Casey. And Casey has a beautiful voice as well. But thank you so much. I appreciate you, boo. It was just looked like those are hobbies, but what are you going to do to support yourself? And so what I wanted to talk about today is just how do you overcome that? Because it's decades of that. And what I tell people all the time is we could go down the list of blaming people of, you know, the woulda, shoulda, coulda, and I didn't get the support and nobody believed in me. And the reason why I'm not what I want to be today, or the reason why I'm not where I want to be today, is because I didn't have the support, because I didn't have the guidance. However, and I had that same story. And so I'm just like, yeah, this is just what I'm going to do because nobody believes I can do it. However, I believed I could do it, but I didn't have the courage to go against the grain and just do it afraid. And so many times what we look at as self-doubt really isn't self-doubt. It's just that lack of courage of going ahead and moving forward and doing it afraid, and giving those people who aren't supporting you the grace and knowing that they're only not supporting me because maybe they care about me that much and they just don't want to see me fail. They don't get what it is that I'm trying to do, so they don't know how to support that. They only know how to support marrying that man with a good job because that's all they know and that's all they've been exposed to. And the people that they have seen in life who have not made it to where they wanted to make it was because they didn't follow that process. And so sometimes people are afraid for us. And I tell my coaching clients all the time, people can't support things that they don't understand. If you can't wrap your brain around it, if it seems impossible for you, then it's hard for you to support somebody, especially when you care about them, because it's like, girl, you are walking down a path that's only going to end in destruction because they don't understand it and they don't have the courage to do it themselves. Let's see. You're speaking the truth. Right today, my self-esteem is low and self-doubt myself as you speak. Yeah, and it's because we have all of these big dreams and aspirations and these big ideas, right? And so especially when you're young and you share it with someone, the first thing you want them to say is, "Oh my gosh, that's a good idea. Go for it. You're going to be amazing." But as soon as that person or persons look at you like, "Girl, that's crazy," then you start to think, "Well, is it crazy?" But again, in the beginning, you weren't doubting yourself. And that's why I tell people all the time, "Hey, Nikita, that's my boo right there. Hello, beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning in. And good evening to you, Kenneth. Thank you for being here. I definitely appreciate your support. And y'all, if you're not already subscribers to the Stae Hall channel, shameless plug, because if you are on Facebook, I may or may not see your comments. And so I want everybody to have the opportunity to engage. And please excuse me, I'm going to just give this disclosure now. Do not be upset if I don't call out your comment because I'm navigating this on my own and I don't see anything. If you're watching this anywhere else than YouTube, it's a chance I may see your comments and a chance I may not. I try to keep Facebook going over here, but it's hard to look at two screens. So the best way to be able to communicate and interact in real time is to jump on over to YouTube and subscribe to your girl's channel. So let's see. Oh, that's Kenneth saying hi to Andrea. So hello, Andrea, because I don't know if I saw you saying hi to Kenneth. Okay. And I saw something else. Story of my life. Okay. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it's just like people, it's hard for them to support what they don't understand. And so what I realized much too late in life, but again, right on time, because that's where I am now. When the light bulb went off, I'm like, here I am being upset, being resentful, being angry because I didn't get the support I needed, but also then being mad at myself for why didn't I push harder? Why didn't I just do it? And realizing that it wasn't too late, because my first thought was, okay, well, I'm 40 something years old now, so that ship has sailed. It's just too late. I can't do it. But then I'm like, no, if it's still something that I'm passionate about and it's still something that I believe in myself about, now I just need to have the courage to do it no matter what. And when I tell y'all that even now, of years in entrepreneurship, years of doing my own thing, there are still people who are very close to me who don't understand at all what I do. And I'll get the question of, "You don't have a job yet? When you gonna get a job?" And they just don't understand. And my answer to them is, well, whether or not you think that I have a job, I am working harder than I've ever worked in my life, because this entrepreneur life is not for the faint of heart. I literally eat what I kill. If I'm not working, nothing is happening. I'm out there every day making it happen and growing a business for myself. But again, if they've never experienced it, they can't understand. Hey, ARD, thank you for being here and tapping in from the Bay. I definitely appreciate you. Let's see. Can't stop, won't stop. It's never too late to repair self. No, it's not. And that's the thing. And you don't want to waste too much time blaming other people. Again, the worst thing is that shoulda, woulda, coulda. And I tell people all the time, whenever I have an issue, whenever I am up against it, I'm not satisfied with the way things are going. Unlike what happens with a lot of people where they want to look outward and figure out who they can blame and who did this to them and what is my trauma and who traumatized me, I want to look inward and figure out what part I played in this. And so once you become of a certain age and a certain level of maturity, blaming other people is like a moot point. Because if you have the wherewithal to realize that that person could be the catalyst for why you are doing and acting or not acting the way you want to, then that means that's still a you problem, because only you get to make the determination of who has access to your life, whose opinion you value and whose you don't. And I say as an adult because as children, of course, we have our parents. We need to respect our parents. We have certain limitations, things that we can't do without our parents. But once you're an adult and you are able to make your own decisions, blaming other people for the reason why you're not moving forward is still a you thing, because no one can control what you do, when you do it, how you do it. No one can tell you, no, you can't do that. No one can tell you, no, you can't use those resources. And so if you find yourself in a place of self-doubt and you're blaming it on other people, you really need to look inward and try to figure out why you are letting these other people control you. Is it your attachment to these other people? Is it your fear of doing it alone? Are you so codependent that you can't do it without people's validation? Because I mentioned it before that, a lot of people want to use that word validation now and say, you don't need validation. Validation is only for parking. Well, we all sometimes need that validation, that pat on the back is only human nature. However, it's your responsibility to get yourself around like-minded people who think the way you do, who can believe in you, encourage you, and support you, who are trying to do the same kind of things so that you can get that validation. Because it is lonely when you're doing it alone and no one believes in you. You need somebody just to be able to bounce ideas off of, somebody who understands the things that you're trying to do. And again, even when we have these ideas and the confidence in ourselves, it's always good to get an opinion of someone else, but you have to be very, very careful about whose opinion you choose to look for and whose opinion that you respect. But the validation piece of it, don't let anybody try to make you feel like you're inferior because you need validation, because there is some support and comfort in knowing that there's someone who understands you and who believes in you and what you're trying to do. Let's see. Hey, J3, thank you so much for being here. I don't know if you saw my vlog that I dropped on Sunday. I did put your tag on the screen, but I got my J3 honey and I cannot wait to use it. And so we're going to pause right now for a commercial break. Hold on, y'all. I got my J3 honey, and I'm a singer. I should have wrote a little ditty about it, but I have my J3 honey. So this is just like regular TV. We pausing for a commercial break. If you are looking for a sweetener that is more healthy for you, something that you can put in your coffee, also put on your cereal. My grandmother used to use honey on her rice cereal, like the Rice Krispie cereal and the puff rice cereal. You can use honey. This is a much better an alternative for sweetener than regular sugar. So if you are looking for some honey from a Black-owned business, a Black-owned beekeeper, you want to check out J3GS Farms. You can find him here on YouTube. You can find him on Instagram and order your honey. It will be delivered right to your door at the address of your choosing. Again, J3GS Farms. That is the commercial, and shout out to J3. Was so glad to get this honey. And yeah, if you want to see the unboxing of the honey, it is in my vlog that I dropped yesterday. So thank you so much for being here. So that was our commercial break. Let me see. Let me go back up to these comments. J3. Oh, thank you, Miss T. Yes, congratulations to me. I am now over 500 subscribers. YouTube be playing. When I woke up this morning, I was at 505 subscribers. And by 10 o'clock, I was back down to 504. I don't know why YouTube is playing, but they do that to everybody. But yes, I have finally at least hit that threshold. I celebrate every single win. And I am so happy. And I do give so much credit to my girls, Lacey J and Lachey, for getting me over that threshold, because when I was on their live, just chitting and chatting, with everyone. They had shouted my channel out, and at that point I was at 496, and by the end of their live I was at 500, and just a couple of minutes later at 502, and now to 504. So thank you, Miss T, for that shout out. And yeah, it was a milestone because I celebrate every single win. Thank you so much, David Howard. I appreciate you. He is someone here from the Dallas-Fort Worth area that does some amazing things for our community. Facts. Well, thank you, Resilient Dad. I appreciate you. Let's see. Everybody's saying hello. And then we have, you need to recharge from positive energy, not negative energy. Absolutely. And the thing is, when you are dealing with trying to overcome that self-doubt, right? And the messages that you were given from so many people and just the things that happen, whether it was from family or friends, it's not necessarily that you need to cut those people off. But what you need to learn as you're navigating this process and stepping into who you are and regaining that confidence in yourself and moving into your passion and your purpose, you may need to reposition some people in your life. Like I will tell you, because of things I've been through, I've had to learn it. Sometimes the cutoff is the only way. And my cutoff game is strong. It has not always been strong, but yeah, my cutoff game is real strong right now. But cutoff is not like necessarily the only or the first step. Sometimes you just have to reposition people and compartmentalize people. Realize, like, I'm a person who the word friend is very near and dear to me. It's not a word that I just throw around. Everybody is not my friend, and that's okay. Everybody is not for me. I'm not for everybody. However, there are people in my life who I deal with for certain reasons, and that's okay. But you have to know that some people are your friends, some people are your family. Family doesn't necessarily mean friends, and the way you deal with your family does not have to be the way that you deal with your friends, but you can have friends that become family, family that become friends. You can have people that you socialize with, do business with. There are different compartments for them. You have associates, you have business partnerships, you have people who you just socialize with, and then you have your circle of friends. Once you get that straight in your mind and know every position that people play in your life, you are a lot less likely to be disappointed and hurt. Sometimes we go into these relationships with people automatically just assuming because we had a good time and we met at the event, oh, that's my friend, and they do something. And then it's like, oh, well, I thought that was my friend, but they weren't. Friendships happen over time. Friendships have to be built. Friendships have to be nurtured. And as soon as you're able to start compartmentalizing people and realize what position they play in your life, the much easier things will be. Because I will talk all the time about the unrealistic expectations that we put on people, and it's not fair to them or to us. And we waste time sometimes with hurt feelings trying to figure out stuff. And, well, I thought you were my friend and you didn't support me. Well, when was that ever the case? Just because we had a good time at the event 2 weeks ago and we exchanged numbers and said we were going to have a coffee, that does not make you my friend. And so that is a big part of it. And on the same side of that is, just because we're family members, whether you're my mother, my sister, my cousin, my uncle, my aunt, does not necessarily mean that we're going to have that relationship where you're going to support me and understand my business endeavors or understand the relationships that I have outside of the family. Because family members, even though you share DNA, you all have different personalities and different minds, and you have to be able to overcome that sort of thing and understand that thing to give yourself peace to truly thrive in the things that you want, and not try to force people to play a role in your life that they're not equipped to play. And then when they're not equipped to play it, then everything crumbles for you. No, it's time for you to move on and find someone else who can give you what you need. Oh, well, thank you so much. Yeah, it's definitely a milestone, Keisha. And thank you so much for being here. Like I said, I celebrate every win. Let's see. Nikita said, absolutely. I want to make sure I'm all caught up. We just speaking and saying hello. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And so with all of that, I also want to talk about, which, I'm never going to stop talking about, the importance of therapy. And so, again, I believe that a lot of people of my generation and the generations before me were conditioned to think a certain way. And my generation, the Gen Xers, we started thinking a little bit differently. But again, we didn't have the support that we needed. And so it caused a lot of self-doubt. So when you finally realize that, okay, I've been dealing with this self-doubt, I've been doing a lot of negative self-talk, because I know for me, I had to start convincing myself that maybe other people were right. And so again, that's when I realized it wasn't that I had self-doubt. I was just like, look, if everybody else is saying I can't do this, or I'm not capable of doing this, or I'm just flighty, I'm all over the place, because that's something I used to get a lot of. You're just flighty, you're all over the place. You don't know what you want to do. One day you're doing this and one day you're doing that. And I realized I am kind of like that. I do have 9 million different ideas and 9 million different things that I want to try. So maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I'm not stable and I'm just all over the place. And so I kind of started to try to be more structured. Maybe I just need to stick to one thing. And what I realized only after going through therapy, which is what I was leading to, y'all know I talk about therapy all the time, that what I was dealing with was normal for the type of person I am. I am a creative. I have an entrepreneurial spirit. How many of us know that most millionaires and billionaires have failed way more than they have succeeded? They have tried business idea after business idea, product after product, thing after thing, until they found the right fit in that one thing, or maybe multiple things that were going to help them reach the level of success that they desire. If you have the type of drive and the type of entrepreneurial spirit and creativity like I do, and several other people like me, it's going to be hard for you to have an idea and it fails, and then you just decide, okay, I give up. No, I know what I want to do. Like, I have always known I am a horrible employee. That's not where I shine. I have been an employee for years, doing what I needed to do to pay my bills. I have never, not once, no, never had a job where I was happy. I have had jobs where I was content. I'm doing what I got to do. It's paying the bills, but I've never been happy at a job. I have never had a job where I can envision myself being there for the amount of years I'm putting in the time that I needed to put in to be able to retire at any decent age and live comfortably. I have never been that type of person. However, I have also, knowing that I'm not that type of person, I have started several businesses that I was interested in, and for whatever reason, they failed. They didn't work. They didn't give me what I needed. I still needed to work. They didn't take me off my job, and I needed to do something else. Point that, well, maybe that's just not for you. You bouncing from thing to thing. You just need to find a job and stick to it. And so I tried that for a period of time, and I still wasn't happy. Like, I was giving it my all. Like, you know what? I'm going to be a career woman. I'm going to climb this corporate ladder. I'm going to put all of that entrepreneurial stuff out of my mind. That's just what I'm going to do. And I still was not happy. And why? Because that wasn't me. But was it really self-doubt that made me give up? No, it was just the fact that I'm doubting myself because of what other people are saying. But the fact that I still had that nagging thing inside of me that this ain't for you. You need to do something else. Eventually, I had no choice but to try something else, because I knew in me that this is not how I'm built. And I had to come to terms with the fact that no matter what anybody else thinks, no matter what anybody else's judgments are, no matter what anybody else's criticisms are, this is my life, and I deserve to be happy, and I deserve to be that thing that brings me passion. A resilient dad giving me some fire, so I guess I'm saying something. I hope that's for me. And and laughing at me. I always get those. And David, I can't see you over here, but I'm looking at Facebook. He said, fear kills growth. Entrepreneurship is a process that requires patience. Yes, and it's not always going to be the same thing. Hey, Cece, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, love. Lacey J said therapy has been one of the best decisions I made last year. I'm glad I didn't give up after my first therapist who wasn't a good fit, and search for a new one. Shout out to EAP programs. Yeah, and that's the thing with therapy. I say that all the time. Getting into therapy is the first step, but definitely don't think just with therapy, medical doctors, whatever, don't feel like once you pick somebody, that's who you have to stick with. Sometimes, just like in dating, we got to kiss a couple frogs to find the right fit. Okay, we just saying hi. I want to make sure I am keeping up with the chat. And let me look over at Facebook. Hey, Carrie, thank you so much for joining. Hey, Tiffany Miles, Sandra Sims, thank y'all so much for joining. I'm doing my best to navigate all of these platforms, but I thank y'all so much for joining in. And yeah, therapy was good for me because what therapy will do is it's just that unbiased opinion, somebody who really doesn't have any skin in the game. They don't know you. Whatever you do really isn't going to affect them. They are not emotionally invested. So they're there to help you work through your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, and give you a clear perspective on what they see as a professional. And so it really helped me a lot because, again, a lot of our self-doubt is inflicted by other people because, of course, we feel like the people who are closest to us know us so well. And like, okay, well, maybe it is me. Maybe I am off the rails because if everybody is saying this, maybe it's just something I have to look at. And when you go to therapy, they let you know, from their perspective, from their opinion, what is accurate. So Tampa said, I was supposed to go to therapy, but I never went. Fear of admitting that I'm damaged and not in my right mind after my milestone I went through 2020. Girl, we all ain't in our right mind in some way, shape, or form. Do not be afraid of it. Go and be as vulnerable as you can. There is nothing you can tell them that they have not heard before. And it is just so freeing to be able to just unload on someone and them not respond to you in shock, them not to respond to you in a way where it's like, what's wrong with you? I'm telling you, it is the best thing. I mean, I have gone through therapy during times of trauma and grief, and I continue to go through therapy when I'm feeling just fine because I know my husband don't feel like listening to single thing I have to say. I mean, it is just good to be paying somebody just to listen to you and give their input. So please go to therapy and don't even think about being damaged. Again, we're all damaged in some way, shape, or form. None of us are perfect. We'll never be perfect. So why not just go and sit and talk to someone so at least you can be comfortable in the skin that you're in and feel like you're in a safe place and just have someone just kind of navigate and guide you through whatever you're dealing with, but you know that they have your best interest at heart. So please go. And I understand the fear, but it does take, if you're not used to it and you're not completely open with it, you're going to feel uncomfortable for the first few sessions because it's just different for you, but keep going. And I'm telling you, I guarantee you, and you've heard Lisa J say, it'll be one of the best things that you've ever done. And I truly believe in being proactive rather than reactive. So even for those of us who feel like, well, that wasn't my experience growing up, or that's not, when I'm dealing with my spouse, or I don't have those issues with my kids, therapy is still a good thing because there's just certain things that, we don't want to share with everybody. And so, yeah, definitely go. But I understand you. I definitely understand you. But just go. Just, throw caution to the wind and just go. Good evening. Okay, so we're just saying good evening. And then, yeah, therapy is amazing. It is, girl. It's amazing. I can just go somewhere and just talk and talk and talk and know, look, you got to listen to me because I'm paying you. Amen. The therapy is truly a lifesaver. Love mine. We both be crying sometimes. Yeah, it's good. My ghost. You and them goats, J3. But whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. Right? Right, CC? Oh my gosh. But yeah, we all need that. And again, it's just a different perspective because just think about it. The people that we grew up with, the people that we were raised with, that's that. They were raised in the same environment as us. They have the same influences as us. And maybe they have not been willing to do the work and go to therapy. So what can they really offer us? And then ourselves, if we knew it all, if we could fix it, then we wouldn't be having any issues. So the best thing to do is go to someone who is outside of all of your stuff and who isn't really caring about these other people. And they're just going to focus on you, and you have their undivided attention, and they, oh my gosh, I just can't tell you, Sam, what therapy is like to help you see things and work through things. They hear things that you're not even saying, right? So you're mentioning all this stuff and you're talking about all of this, and then they'll say, well, what I hear and what I think the issue is, and they'll bring up something that you didn't even think of. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, you're right. Because that's how I'm able to do what I do as a life coach and talk about the things that I talk about. I wouldn't be nearly as good at what I do, as vulnerable as I am, if I hadn't gone through therapy, right? Because they were able to show me things like this whole, like maybe it's not truly self-doubt, it's just the courage to go against the grain. I got that through therapy. Because I kept telling my therapist, like, I always thought I was confident, but then I tried to do this and that, and I didn't do it. And I guess I just didn't have the courage to do it. I wasn't confident to do it. And I just started doubting myself. And my therapist is like, no, you're very confident. The fact that you were even interested in doing what you're doing, the fact that you want to start these businesses, the fact that you have these ideas, that's confidence. What happened was, other people didn't have confidence in you. Other people didn't understand what you were trying to do. So you just didn't have the courage to do it anyway. You didn't have the courage to do it without the support that you felt like you needed. You didn't have the courage to accept the possible backlash or people talking smack on you or people not supporting you. But you were confident because you had the idea and you presented it to people and said, this is what I'm going to do. And then they blew your light out and you let them. And so that's what that's all about. Let's see. Here in Indiana, it's classified as mental health therapy. That's one reason I didn't go. I can see that because, again, with certain generations, mental health is so taboo, right? Mental health means you're crazy. Mental health, MHMR, that means like, yeah. But those are just names. It's like, and again, mental health isn't an issue. I talk about it all the time. I just did a whole women's conference in January about mental health, self-care, mind, body, and business. We got a lot going on. All of us, I would say, are suffering from some type of mental health. And when we think about mental health, of course, people want to go, directly to, the things that are major, like schizophrenia, bipolar, whatever. And everybody's kind of like, yeah, I don't want to be labeled like that. But I suffer from panic and anxiety. Unless I said it, hardly anybody would even know. And the reason why I start saying it was just for that, because I wanted people to know, because you see me show up, you see me on the stages, you see me on social media, you see me dealing with my clients, you see me giving keynote speeches and all of that. But I suffer from panic and anxiety, and I can still do it. But yeah, are there times where I am completely like out of breath, about to hyperventilate? People don't understand how I can do what I do, and I'm still shy. That's part of the mental health stuff that I deal with. I am great on a stage. I'm great in front of hundreds and thousands of people, but you get me one-on-one, I'm a little bit shy. So there have been several times, and that's why I keep people around me who know me and know who I am, who can kind of manage situations. And the people who work with me will tell you, I can be on the stage literally in front of thousands of people, singing, speaking, whatever. I just did it on Saturday at a gala in front of over 500 people. speaking, doing all the things. But once it was over, I was making a beeline for the door because how I can be so comfortable in front of thousands, the one-on-one gives me anxiety. And so I'm shy because when I'm in front of thousands of people, it's just like, yeah, this is just a group of people. I'm not having direct eye contact. There's nobody asking me, specific questions. And so I'm good there. But when I leave that stage or when I'm singing and people are waiting to greet me and ask me questions, I'm immediately like, I don't know what to say. That's mental health. I am socially awkward. Like I can go on and on and on. And that's why I love to talk about it, because y'all see me everywhere doing all the things, posting this, taking this picture, whatever, because that's what I'm good with. But the one-on-one, I'm like, now, unless it's a one-on-one where it's not about me, like with my coaching class, that's different. They're coming to me, they need my help. But if somebody is coming to me and making a big deal about me, and oh my gosh, let me give you another scenario. So I am being honored at an event on Saturday. And and this is the thing, it's hard for me to even pay attention because the way my mind is set up and how I'm shy and I just don't like the spotlight, believe it or not. I can't even remember what it's called. So I'm being honored on Saturday, February 24th, as DFW's Hidden Treasure, along with a couple of other people. I have known about this honor for several weeks. They reached out to me. Hey, we love what you're doing in the community and we really want to honor you. And here is the flyer. Please share it on your social media and everything. I didn't start telling anybody about this until Saturday. And the reason why I started telling people on Saturday is because I know the organization wanted me to share it with their friends. This is a benefit event for them. They're honoring people and they want us to reach out to our people and bring them in and whatever. But it was just hard for me to post something that was just about me. Right. So when I'm posting, hey, I'm going live, I'm doing this or that, that's because I feel comfortable, because I feel like I have something to offer y'all. I'm helping you, I'm sharing. But when the spotlight is just on me, that's difficult for me. And so they literally emailed me today like, hey, the event is only 5 days away. Can you please share this on your social media or whatever? And my face is on the flyer and everything. And I just had to say, you know what? I need to share this and I need to invite some of my friends. So I didn't even start inviting anybody until like today, because it's so hard for me to say, hey, come see me get this award. Come see me do this. That's mental health issues. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all. So let's see. Keisha. So don't let the mental health piece of it. All mental means is it's your mind, and there's certain things. It doesn't mean you're crazy. It doesn't mean you're a lunatic. We just all need some tweaking. Keisha said, yes, the homework that I came away with from my sessions helped build me up and understand the whys of my actions. Yeah, because sometimes we don't even understand why we do the things that we do. And I realized through therapy that the reason why, because I was not shy as a young child at all, which is why I always used to talk to strangers and I was chatty Cathy, talking too much in class. I was, doing my little podcast out of my window, but it was when people started telling me it was too much. I'm doing too much. I need to stop that. And so then I started doubting myself, but it wasn't the self-doubt. It was inflicted because it was like, you doing too much. Why are you doing that? And so then it went to the exact opposite where I just kind of became shy. So let's see. Hey, they're good evening. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not. Be honest, you are picturing them naked. No, picturing them naked would probably make me even more shy. But this is my thing, Cece. This is what I do. This is how I'm able to do things. And okay, another thing I want to share with y'all with my singing. Like I have sang on stage with the Temptations, for those of you who are old enough to know who the Temptations are, in front of tens of thousands of people. And I was out there. I used to sing a part of My Girl, but they would have me sing My Guy. I would sing a verse and I would just do My Guy instead of My Girl. And it would be tens of thousands of people in a packed arena. And I have been in pageants and all that. I don't picture them in their underwear, but the way that I am able to do it is the more people, I kind of feel like I'm by myself, because in my mind is it's all them people out there. And I know how I act at concerts and stuff. I'm like, they ain't paying me no attention. They talking to each other, they dance and they listening to the music, but they're not directly focused on me. And so whenever I do that, I'm just kind of enjoying the lights and the music. I'm into it as if I'm a participant, and everybody's just kind of dancing and vibing, but they're not dead focused on me. And that's what helps me. So in my head, I'm just like, these people ain't even caring about me. They are just here for the music. They're not here for Stae Hall. Nobody's going to ask me a question. Nobody's really paying attention to me and what I have on and what I'm doing. As long as they're enjoying the music or enjoying whatever I'm saying, that's what they're focused on. And so that is the conversation I have in my head that keeps me from being shy in those moments. But when it's that one-on-one interaction, then there's no doubt that all their focus is on me. So yeah, that's what. So because people have always said that, like, how can you be shy but you do this? And yeah, but that's how I feel. That's interesting. It's the opposite for me. I thrive in smaller settings. Yeah, smaller settings. I'm like, that's just too much intimacy. That's just too much like. But I do it all the time. Again, unless it is like the life coaching, because it's the helping people and the answers and questions. So yeah, I say all the time, I'm just weird. I'm a strange bird. Well, thank you, Nikita. I appreciate you so much, friend. Yeah, it's Saturday. I'm super excited. And so, yeah, anyone who's interested in coming Saturday, please reach out to me. I posted it today. And I do have a couple of tickets as well, if anyone wants to come and like be at my table. And then there's also a link if you want tickets. Oh, no, you're good. Do your thing. I just appreciate you for listening. Saying hey to hey Trish, did I say hey to you? Tristan Natural is in the house. Trish is awesome. I've been watching her live. She is a natural hair specialist and guru. So please, y'all, drop your links, copy and paste them, do whatever you need to do, because y'all know I ain't fooling with no Nightbot, but I am here. And also, if you want to join me on, can I even call it a panel when I'm by myself? I ain't even got Wallace today. Wallace went and got him some sherbet, y'all, and he enjoying his sherbet like an old man. I'm looking forward to hearing you sing Stae Hall. Oh, well, thank you. Yes, I do sing. And if you want to hear, I guess, the vlog before last, I did put the whole performance of me singing Take Me to the King. Stae Hall, I've been on a YouTube content creator for 2.5 years. I've yet to share that on Facebook yet. I'm still hesitant about hearing the feedback. And that's what I'm saying. And so to me, that's what this live is about. It's not that you're not confident, because if you weren't confident, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. You're confident, but you just don't have the courage to share it because you're trying to protect your feelings. Because of course, most of us have more family and friends following us on Facebook. And I'll tell y'all right now, no shade to any of my family and friends, because hey, Darlisa, I'm looking over here at Facebook again, but no shade to any of my family and friends. But I have a relatively large extended family with cousins and aunts and uncles. They ain't paying attention to nothing that I'm doing on here at all. And so I can put that I have released a book. I'm going live on YouTube. I'm getting this honor. I'm doing this sneaker ball. I have a women's conference. They ain't going to like or comment on none of that stuff. And what you have to learn to do is not take it personal, because they seeing you as little Trish at the cookout, and you ain't doing this and you ain't doing that. They know you. They think they know everything about you. But there are people on Facebook who you don't have those close relationships for, who need your content and want to engage. And so that's what you have to get past. Don't worry about what your family and friends is thinking, because they're going to be thinking it anyway. And they may not even be thinking anything. They're just not going to engage. When you are an entrepreneur, your clients, 90% of them are not going to be people who you already know. They're not going to be your family and friends, because that's not how they see you. And that's what we have to get comfortable with, because that is where this self-doubt comes from, because we're like, well, these are the people who know me best. And if they don't believe in me and they don't think, but they just don't have the right mindset. I can't say it enough. People cannot support what they don't understand, and especially if they're not even willing to understand it. Now, I have had some people close to me who didn't understand, who actually took the time to talk to me and ask me, now, exactly what is it that you do, or what is this YouTube all about, or why are you writing those books? Because they just wanted to expand their horizons and broaden their mindset. But most of them, they just don't care. Like, they good on what they doing, and they're good with their relationship with you, but you just can't let that stop you from reaching the people who are waiting for you. And Trish, there are people on Facebook who need you, boo. And don't worry about what your family and close friends are going to think, because those aren't going to be your customers, your clients, your subscribers anyway. Because I actually had a very close friend tell me that the reason why she didn't tune in to things that I did or come to my classes or seminars or sessions is because she felt like she already knew everything about me, and what could I teach her? Well, she was missing out. She was missing out, because it's like, yeah, in our relationship and the way things have been going, there was no need for me to share certain things. But yeah, I know a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff. But if you don't want to take the time to get that information from me, that's fine. That's fine. I wasn't offended, because you're not my customer. You're not my client, but you're my homie. So we can hang out. We can go to happy hour. We can, plan baby showers together. We can do those things. We don't do the business, but you have more than family members and friends on Facebook. So don't make those people miss out on the excellence of who you are, because you don't have the courage to take the feedback from the family and friends. I guess that's why I really haven't went live yet. Self-doubt, and I don't like what I see in the mirror. And so what I would say to that, because a lot of us struggle with that kind of thing, is start recording yourself first and watching it back, and realizing that the thought in your head of what you see in the mirror is not really the reality. So I have shared before with anybody who has followed me for a long time. Y'all know I went through what I coined the ugly duckling syndrome. And it was because I grew up in a family that everyone was beautiful and everybody looked alike. Everybody had the light eyes, the curly hair. All of the girls were petite. I have been the height that I am, which I'm almost 5'9". I've been this height since sixth grade. I was taller than most of my teacher and all of the boys in my class. And so I felt awkward, really long legs. And in my family, I had the most, I guess, like ethnic features. I was teased for my big lips. I was teased for my coarse hair, because, most of my cousins had the wavy hair and all that kind of stuff. And so I just felt like the ugly duckling. I didn't feel like I fit in. And that was difficult for me for a long time. And I realized now, after doing the work and, all of that, and it was just me comparing myself to other people and having this image of beauty that didn't transcend just that, what I saw every day, not realizing that beauty comes in all different shapes and sizes. I just felt like, since I looked different than my mom, I looked different from my cousins, my sister, that I just wasn't that cute. And that's what I had in my head. And so now, after doing the work and having the self-love, I can look back at my pictures of when I was younger, and I'm like, there wasn't nothing wrong with me. I was cute. I just felt like I needed to look like everybody else. And it took me a while to forgive myself for wasting those years of feeling like I just didn't add up, because my lips were a little bigger. I was a little taller. My hair was a little coarser, because I didn't have that wet and wavy, just wash and go hair. And again, back then, the natural hair, after the 70s and the afro, that wasn't a thing. And my mom, being someone, in a family where they had that texture of hair, what they used to call back then good hair, which now we realize any hair that's healthy and growing out your scalp, That's good hair. But back in the day, it was looked at differently. And so my hair was a struggle for my mom because her and her sisters and her mom, they had that wavy hair that you didn't have to do a lot with. It didn't tangle. And so she struggled with my hair. So I was going to a salon since I was like maybe 5, 6 years old and getting relaxers or whatever. And so in my head, that just made me feel like something was wrong with me. But it took, again, therapy, Tampa, I'm going to tell you, is the number one thing. And then just kind of looking at myself in the mirror, recording myself doing certain things and looking back at it and becoming comfortable with me. And now when I look back at my pictures from a little girl from high school, the times when I really did not feel like I was pretty or cute at all. And I look back at those pictures now like, girl, you was just fine. You look like every other little girl. And so I just encourage you to, again, therapy first, and then just do those kind of things. Just look yourself in the mirror and you gauge. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. You just gauge and pick out the things that you think are most beautiful about you. You get on your phone or your camera and you record a video, not to upload it, just so that you can look at it and see that the things that you're thinking in your mind probably aren't really that, but it's some kind of trauma, some kind of comparison. And I've been there, so I get it. I definitely get it. Let's see. Hello, Lily. How are you? Hey, Stae, congratulations on 500 supporters. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I went live this morning, only my third or fourth time, was nervous and excited, but I'm learning to love me some me. Yes. And this is a thing too, Keisha, and for Tampa or anybody else. If you're nervous about going live, again, like I said, record yourself without going live and just look back at it and just think about other people's lives and realize, okay, Carrie, getting Sasha from bed. Hey, Sasha, boo. Yeah, I'm looking over at Facebook, y'all. I'm trying to do all the things. I'm so excited. I'm so glad y'all be there Saturday. But yeah, so what you want to do is once you kind of get comfortable with recording yourself for only you, go live, even if it's just for a little while, because it's going to make you feel so good, because I guarantee you, people are going to be there supporting you. People are going to be there cheering you on. People are going to be over there interacting with you, engaging with you, and it is going to help you so much. Just do it. Do it afraid. Do it by yourself. And I would not give you that advice if I wasn't completely secure in the fact that I know that it's going to work. People are going to be way more supportive than you think. And it's just going to give you that boost that you need just to get around some different people, get around some strangers, put yourself out there in front of people so that you can just get that love and support and start building that tribe and that circle. And that's something that we just have to learn to do. We got to get out of just thinking that our tribe and our circle are going to be these people who we grew up with, the people who raised us, our family. Get out here amongst like-minded people who are willing to support you. And I'm telling you, it's exhilarating when you find that tribe and you just feel comfortable, and it's just the no judgment zone. And you also have to have a thick skin as well, especially if you're talking about TikTok, because those people are relentless with some of the negativity. But you also have to realize that misery loves company, and so you're going to get some negative comments, possibly, but you have to realize too that hurt people, and misery loves company. And don't take those things personally, because anyone who would take their time out to put a mean comment or give some type of, negative response, that's somebody who's struggling as well, because I get my fair share of those. But the positive support and the positive comments far outweigh any of the negative. But we have to just get outside of our comfort zone and start embracing something new and realizing that the support that we're looking for and the validation that we're looking for is not necessarily going to come from the people who we expect it from. Thank you, Darlisa. Yes, and I am about to text you something when I get off of here, Darlisa. I got something I want to share with you and see what you got going on. Well, I already kind of mentioned it here, but hey, I'm late to the party. Lachey, I thought you've been here. So you saying you late to the party, which means I must be behind because I knew you was in here. So let's see. Good evening, Lachey. Let's see. Congratulations, and I'm happy for you. You have a beautiful smile and teeth, which I have neither. Girl, I didn't always. Yeah, I wasn't born with these teeth. I have braces. I definitely was not born with these teeth, and now they starting to go back home. So I want to tell anybody, unless you get veneers or something, if you get braces or if you do the Invisalign, wear your retainer like forever. I'm grateful I've came across this group of garden people and inspirational people. Yeah, you just got to get you a tribe. And that's the thing too. You can't worry about it. So now we're talking about teeth. Y'all know I'm completely transparent. I used to be so self-conscious about my teeth because when I was younger, my teeth just weren't the straightest or whatever. And so when I became an adult, I did what I needed to do. I got my braces. That made me feel happy because I've always been someone who's either been speaking or singing. And so my mouth is a focal point. So y'all, I spent the money. I got the braces. I did all the things. I wore my retainer for the amount of time that they told me to wear the retainer, but I didn't wear it forever. And so now I have a space over here and it looks like I'm missing a tooth, but I'm not. It's just because that when I got my braces, they pulled teeth because my teeth were crowded and evidently they pulled too many teeth or whatever happened, but that space came back. Y'all, I'm not trying to be worried about that space, but there was a time when it would have worried me to death. But now I'm on here all the time, mouth wide open, talking, doing whatever I need to do, singing. I just told my husband today, and he can attest to this if he wants to come on screen and tell y'all. But while we were having dinner, we were looking at some of the pictures from the gala this weekend where I spoke a lot. And I told him some of my favorite pictures are me with my mouth wide open, pause, J3 and anybody from Miss T, pause. But because I'm like, you can see my passion when I'm speaking, and I don't be worried if anybody can see that space. But there was a time when I would have been covering my mouth and burst. But it's just like, I love the skin I'm in, but I wasn't always like that. But I've done the work, and it is just such a pleasant place to be in. And what it's also allowed me to do is love other people more and to extend grace to other people more and realize that none of us are perfect. And again, I have braces. So no matter how much cosmetic work you do, and if you want to do it, there's no judgment. If you want to get the Botox, the BBL, get the braces, the veneers, do all that. But I just want you to know that there's still always going to be something that you're not completely happy with. Why? Because none of us are perfect. And the thing is, we look at some other people and we feel like they're perfect, but that's just because that's how we choose to look at them. But if you look hard enough, we're going to find something with everybody, and that's okay. That's how we were built. So yeah, I just want you to just do it, because we don't all have perfect teeth and we don't all have perfect smiles. We don't all have perfect skin. But that's what makes us human. That's what makes us human. And so you'll find your confidence, you'll find your tribe. But I need you to do that therapy. I had nothing but negativity in my life these last 5 years. Now I'm just trying to associate with positive people. And that's the thing. Surround yourself with like-minded people. You're very beautiful. Well, thank you, babe. You were beautiful as well. Even though if y'all was on last night, he said, the feature that he liked about me the most was my hands. So what's that? You gotta have confidence when you married to a man for 10 years and he say on the World Wide Web, your most beautiful feature is your hands. But yeah, he loves my hands. It's whatever. All I did was laugh about it. He got a whole snort laugh. Hey, Sandra. And again, y'all, you are welcome to join me on stage if you have anything that you want to add, if you have any questions. And also for all my content creators, I don't see nobody dropping your links. Please go ahead and drop your links as well. Let's see. Living Life As Lachey said, I was nervous my first 3 lives and I was super stiff, but now I'm excited. Yeah, I mean, it's practice. Practice makes perfect with everything. And that's why I tell a lot of my life coaching clients and what I was just sharing with Tampa, do things yourself. Like I even tell people when I'm dealing with like corporate America and I'm teaching soft skills and conflict resolution and team building. Hey, Nick, what's up, girl? Thank you so much for joining. I always tell them, even if it's just a conversation you want to have with somebody, practice it. Record yourself having a conversation. Look at yourself in the mirror because it's going to take some time. So you just want to practice. But the only way to get better at something is do it. You can think about it as much as you want to think about it. You can watch as many YouTube videos as you want to watch, read as many books as you want to read, whatever. Go to however many coaching sessions. You are still not going to be fully prepared and confident and still until you start doing it. Like I wouldn't know the things that I need to tweak in my training and my coaching unless I had done it and made some mistakes and then look back on it and like, oh my goodness, I need to fix this. I say this too much or I didn't say this. You have to just do it. Do it afraid, do it without all the confidence in the world. Just do it because that's when you can truly gauge what you're doing. Because even if you're practicing, right, saying it in the mirror, recording it, there's nothing like lights, camera, action. Like the lights go on, the camera's on, you're live, and all of a sudden everything that you read, you rehearsed, whatever, goes out your mind and you're just like, do it anyway. And then watch yourself. And sometimes it can be painful to watch yourself and we're super critical of ourselves, but do it from the lens of, I know I'm going to hate this. I know I probably messed up a million times, but I'm just practicing. It's going to get better. And then start taking notes. What did I say too much? How was I looking? Did I like my background? Did I like my lighting? It's not going to kill you. It's not the end of the world. And the thing is, we're going to notice way more than the people who are watching and engaging with us is going to notice. And so do it afraid. And like Lachey said, after her first couple of times, now she's excited about it. It's not the end of the world. My first YouTube videos, I look at them now and they just crack me up. And it's just like, whatever, but I did it. And they got a couple of views and maybe I helped somebody, but I kept doing it. You don't want to stop and just kind of critique yourself. And that's something where a coach comes into play, where therapy comes into play. If you have a coach, then you can go over the videos with your coach, with your mentor, someone who you trust and someone whose criticism you appreciate, or, you know, and I hate to call it criticism. It's just someone who's giving you positive feedback and showing you areas for growth. And even though I teach a lot of this stuff, I do a lot of this all the time, I still have a coach. I still have mentors. I still have areas for growth. I just shared with y'all week before last, I was told, you jump on these lives and you don't even introduce yourself. How are you going to act like, you know, you coming on this podcast that everybody automatically knows who you are? And all I can say is, you're absolutely right. So I start doing it because sometimes we just forget things because that's not something that I didn't know because I used to do it back in the day. But I'm like, yeah, this is a whole new group of people. This is a whole new platform. I need to start introducing myself. So yeah, and I'm glad that you're excited about it, Lachey, because y'all are doing a good job. Only on like 6 ones, but keep doing it. You will get into it more. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. How far am I behind? Keisha said, my patio squirrels and birds were my audience. I hate my voice, but for some odd reason, others seem to like it even in the back. Girl, let me tell you something about hating your voice. So I've always loved to sing. I've told y'all that a million times. And I do believe that I'm a really great singer. And I've gotten to the point where now I don't mind hearing my own voice. Talking is still a little bit like, oh, to me, like, really, is that how I sound? But how about the fact, and I think I may have told y'all this the last time, my kids don't like my voice. I feel like I'm probably the only mother, and especially as a professional singer, I used to sing to my kids when they were little and they would cry. I'm like, why are you crying? And I don't know why they cried, but my kids hated when I sang when I was little. I could make my kids cry just just by singing. So I definitely understand that. And everybody else is like, oh, your voice is so beautiful and you whatever. But my boys hated it. So just imagine that. I can't even sing my own kids to sleep. I'm trying, if I wanted to try to get them to stop singing, the last thing I would do is sing. I mean, get them to stop crying. Trish said, I got my braces as a mature lady. I get them off next week. Oh, congratulations. I told them they're straight enough. Oh, so you just said, I'm done. This is good. This is good. Yeah, I got my braces at 27. So, I wasn't necessarily a mature seasoned woman, but I was definitely grown. I got them on at 27 and got them off at 30. And now they starting to turn again. And I've contemplated whether I wanted to do something else, but I'm not really that sure. Hey, Neek. Hello, boo. Don't know how to drop my link. Okay, so since I don't have Nightbot, what you would need to do is probably jump off of the live, go to your page and copy the link and then come paste it in the chat. I think that's how that goes. I have dentures, but don't wear them. They hurt. Girl, shoot, and it was perfect. But you guys, I think you got to wear them to get used to them, just like everything else. Yeah, I know. But shoot, girl, you got a ready-made beautiful smile. But yeah, I think I can imagine them just like with the retainers and stuff. Anything different, it takes your mouth to get used to it. So you're gonna have to wear them and kind of suffer that pain, I think, until you get used to it. Everyone has a first time or a first step. Yeah, absolutely. You just have to do it. And you're never going to get comfortable and have the courage to do anything unless you do it. Growing What I Eat. Thank you so much for being here, Growing What I Eat, saying hello to everyone. I think we have some more hellos. No one wants gum. Girl, well, I would say no one pause, but but that's the good thing about dentures, on and off, but don't say no one. I have a friend who had to get dentures like really, really young because of some like, what is it? Gum disease or whatever that just kind of ran in her family. But I definitely understand. And the thing is too, sometimes some of the things that we are the most self-conscious about are actually the things that once we kind of get our courage and are willing to talk to other people about it, those are the things that can connect us with people the most. Like, so often we feel like we're the only ones who are dealing with stuff when there's a lot of people who are dealing with stuff, the same thing that we're dealing with, but they don't have the courage. And so if you have a desire to do it, just think about the people who are waiting for you just to come up. Like I think about Lizzo, as a plus size, entertainer and coming out and wearing her, what do you want to call it? Her little scantily clad outfits and showing it all and bearing it all and not caring. And look at what that opened up for so many women who felt like they had to be covered up or they couldn't wear this or they couldn't wear that. But it takes someone who's dealing with something to come out, because the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. There is nothing that you're dealing with that somebody out there is not also dealing with or has dealt with. But we all just don't have the courage to step out there and share. And if you have a desire to do it, then do it and just know that there's somebody out there who is waiting for you to share. You got the pause before me. Yes, I was like, okay, pause on that one, because I was like, oh yeah, there's somebody out there who wants some gums. Yeah, pause on that one. But yeah, y'all, I just want you to know that there is a lot to be said for what we have going on in our minds and the goals that we have for ourselves and the aspirations that we have for ourselves, that we allow what we can see or perceive as self-doubt to stop us, when really it's not self-doubt at all. It's just a lack of courage and a lack of confidence in going against other people and what they say and believe. And so many times we are looking for the validation from other people who just can't give it to us. And we just are afraid that if we don't have their validation, we're not going to be able to do it. And I've also had people who have told me that because of my courage, even though they doubted what I was doing and they didn't understand what I was doing and it looked crazy to them, once I did it, then it gave them the courage to do something that they were thinking about too. And so I just like to lend that all the time. Like there is somebody who is out there waiting for you to step up. There is somebody who is out there just waiting for you to show up and do your thing and relate to them, to give them just that extra little push that they need to show up. And so I can't say it enough. There is nothing new under the sun. There's nothing that you're going through that somebody else hasn't already gone through, who is currently going through. So why not be that person to show up for your tribe, to show up for your group who is going to be your support system, instead of trying to force people who can't support you to support you, or allowing the people who can't support you to keep you from doing what you want to do. It's that thing that keeps you up at night. It's that thing that you can't stop thinking about. It's that thing that, puts that fire in your belly that you need to be doing. And you need to be doing it no matter what anybody else is saying. You need to be doing it no matter how scared you are. You need to be doing it no matter how much you question it. And sometimes it's just as simple as start doing it by yourself. Record yourself, watch yourself, get in the mirror, talk to yourself, take selfies, and if you're really self-conscious, like about looks or whatever, find your angle, what looks best on you, find your color, find your hairstyle, whatever it is, do the work. Just don't give up. You have to be comfortable, but be actively working on that. Just actively working on that. Like what looks best on me. I mean, and I'm to the point where the way I am, y'all already know, if you watch my vlogs, I just show up. Sometimes y'all get half decent Stae, like today. Sometimes y'all get full glammed out Stae. Sometimes y'all get Stae in the bonnet and barely brushed my teeth. Y'all just get Stae. When I'm ready to show up, I show up, because guess what? That is what makes me relatable. That's what makes me real. I could come on here and show up every single time in my vlogs, full face of makeup, hair done, whatever. But what I decided to do when I entered the social media arena was, I'm just going to be real, because I don't want anybody to think I woke up like this, because that is what can cause a lot of self-doubt in other people. Well, every time Stae come on, she looking like this. No, I want y'all to see Stae at every phase of Stae. Sometimes Stae got it all together and is just looking marvelous. And sometimes Stae is just like Stae. And I don't let how I'm looking that day, what I have on, how my hair is done, my makeup, I never let that stop me from sharing whatever message I have at that time. Because if I'm truly passionate about it and I think somebody needs to hear it, y'all ain't going to hear it just because my eyebrows ain't right. I'm just going to show up. But it took time. It took therapy and it took the work for me to realize that I'm good with me no matter what, because there's only one me. So every one of those phases that I show up in, they're all me. The Stae with the bonnet is me. The Stae with the glam on is me. But what's most important is what's in here and what's in here. That's all that matters. All of this that we've made so important for so long is the least of it. That's not making an impact on people. It's your message. It's your words. It's how you show up for people. It's your demeanor. It's your personality. That's what really matters. So just don't get too much in here about this. It doesn't matter. If you have a good message, if you have something to share, show up with that no matter what. But I know it's easier said than done, but I just want you to practice, and I want you to block out the noise, and I want you to focus on like-minded people. I want you to focus on finding your people, finding your tribe, and stepping outside of your comfort zone and realizing that DNA does not mean that that's your tribe. DNA does not mean that those are your bigger supporters. And also showing them grace and understanding that people can't support what they don't understand, what they don't comprehend. And sometimes that negativity, sometimes that lash out, that sometimes that I don't know, is actually coming from a place of concern because they don't want to see you fail because they don't understand how it will work. And so then you have to compartmentalize it and say, the relationship that I have with this person is just based on this. And these are the things that we talk about, and this is what we do. And then I have other relationships with other people where this is what we talk about, and this is what we do. And it's okay. And knowing the difference between friends and associates and social life and family, compartmentalize it and don't have and don't have unfair expectations on people. And so that's all I have for this evening. I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. I still am always sad when no one decides to join me up here, at least just to ask a question. But I definitely enjoy the chat. Y'all make me work. Y'all ain't going to get up here and talk to me. Y'all just going to type it, but I am doing my best. I hope that I was able to catch everybody and all of your comments. I hope I was able to shout out and speak to everyone. And if I did not, please don't take it personal, because there's only one me and I'm doing the best that I can. And so I definitely appreciate y'all being here for another Mindful or Mindset Monday. Look, I can't even remember the name of my own show. I don't know if we went with Mindset Monday or Mindful Monday, but we will be back on Thursday for Thirsty Thursday. And it's not the kind of thirsty that y'all thinking of. We are thirsty for knowledge. And then we'll be back again on Sunday for the hallway with Wallace and I. And if you have not already, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat, and hopefully I spell it right tonight. If y'all can follow us on the hallway life on YouTube, and you need to put the @ in there, because eventually I want that channel to be able to thrive on its own. We are now up to 117 subscribers, so we are on the road to 500 then. And now on Stae Hall, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I am so glad that you all are on that journey with me. But yeah, if y'all can hop over to the hallway life and subscribe, so at one point we won't have to do both. I really enjoyed this live. I'll look into therapy this week. Yes. And then there's so many options now. Like, you can do therapy online. You don't even have to go in. They got like betterhelp.com. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Wallace. I appreciate you, boo. I enjoyed my first time in your house. Peace and blessings. Keisha, thanks so much for being here. I definitely appreciate you. J3, I'm never thirsty. Well, I need you to be thirsty on Thursday for some knowledge. Let me look over here on Facebook. I think I am all caught up. And again, for any of you who are in the DFW area and you are following me on Facebook, if you want to join me on Saturday as I accept my award, my honoree for, I think it was, DFW Hidden Treasures, go ahead to my Facebook page and get a ticket. I would love to see your face in a place. I know a couple of people like Carrie, who is on, she'll be there on Saturday. My friend Sam, my friend Jody. I appreciate all of you guys. But yeah, if you want to join us on Saturday, I would love to meet you in person. I don't know how many of you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but yeah, that is on my Facebook page. And you can find me on all social media at Stae Hall. And as a matter of fact, one of the events that I spoke at recently, I got an email asking me to speak at this event, and I didn't even think to ask how they found me. And when I went to the event, she was like, yeah, I was just Googling, looking for experts in soft skills and emotional intelligence, and you were the first one who popped up, and I looked at your social media, and I really liked what you were talking about, and I called you. So yeah, y'all, I'm Googleable now. So yeah, I was super happy because, I just didn't know. I thought I was referred by somebody else, but she said, I Googled you. So yeah, that was exciting. And those are just the kind of things that let me know that I'm doing the right thing. I'm walking in my purpose, walking in my lane, and doing what I need to be doing. So that was super exciting. So yeah, y'all can find me everywhere at Stae Hall, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all of that. I would love to see y'all on all the platforms. J3 saying hey to Wallace. Wallace is becoming super popular these days. I don't know why y'all even talking to him after he said that he loved me for my hands yesterday. I don't know how to see, like that feel like a pause. I subscribe to the other channel. Thank you so much, Tampa, and all the best to you. And for those of you who don't know, I mention all the time that I'm a life coach. So if anyone's looking for one-on-ones with me, life coaching with me, you can always reach out to me for that life coaching. I do have some openings for coaching that will be available in April. Your girl is booked full solid now, but I do have some availability in April. So if you are interested in any type of life coaching, any one-on-one with me, you can go to stayhall.com, or you can email me at info@stayhall.com, and we can schedule a complimentary 20-minute one-on-one session and see if we are a good fit. And I would be more than happy to help you on your self-love journey. So with all of that being said, I am going to finally say good evening to you guys. And y'all know the drill. I love and appreciate each and every one of you to bits and pieces. I appreciate you so much for always tuning in and supporting me in my entrepreneurial endeavors. And I want you all to love one another, be kind to one another, but never stop living your life. L-Y-F-E. Love yourself first explicitly. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.